Good morning, dear teacher. My name is Alba Pailecho, and today I'm going to talk about the challenges that adolescents and adults face in developing reading skills. And I will explain some strategies that will help us to teach this skill. First, we have to define what is reading. It's an interactive process that the students acquire through the practice and development of some skills such as the coding and comprehension of the language. There are some factors involved in reading: the intellectual skills and the knowledge of variety of linguistic signs. Here we have some. Adolescents and adult English language learners face some challenges in mastering reading skills. According to Leininger and Maxwell 2010, they point out these challenges: background knowledge, unknown words, and unknown patterns and phrasing. The first one is background knowledge. The students who have no prior knowledge of the topic may have difficulty constructing a meaningful mental model of what the text is about. For this reason, teachers should provide background information at the beginning of the lesson on topics that are unfamiliar for students, especially at the beginning levels. When the students have obtained information or have life experiences on the topic, the students will be able to easily analyze and interpret, explain their perspective about the topic, and infer and summarize the text. The prior knowledge helps us to interpret idioms and metaphors. Here we have an example: to kill two birds with a stone. In this case, we don't have to take the meaning literally, because this means that you achieve something, you achieve two things with one action. And another challenge is the unknown words. The lack of vocabulary is a very big problem. For this, it's important for the students to acquire a large vocabulary so that when reading, it will be easier to recognize the words and understand the text. In order to build the students' vocabulary, teachers can pre-teach the unfamiliar terms that the students will encounter in the text, or the teacher can give them a glossary of terms. Another challenge is the unknown patterns and phrasing. A student may have trouble understanding reading due to the structure of the language. Here we have some examples that the double negatives are sentences very complex to beginner level learners, and the phrasal verbs that are two different words that we link and become in another word and have another meaning. Here we have the lack of fluency. The lack of fluency is a very big problem because students are unable to read the text accurately, quickly, and expressively, causing them to become stressed by having to read aloud in front of their classmates. When the students have lack of fluency, we can predict bad reading comprehension. Yeah, here we have some principles of effective reading instruction. According to Leininger and Maxwell 2010, there are some principles. And here we are going to speak about. Teacher must select books that are accordance with the student knowledge and level of English language proficiency. So teachers must select books with topics that are interest to students. It's important to teach vocabulary to improve text comprehension. Here teachers can, here we have two types of vocabulary words, the high frequency words and the content specific low frequency. The high frequency words is, for example, the modal verbs that are words in that we use frequently in the English language. And the content specific low frequency words are specific key ideas in the text, for example, in the andragogy. Strategies here is important to teach students the strategies for acquire a new vocabulary. Here we have the word wells, the flashcards, the vocabulary journals, and writing down synonyms and antonyms and examples and examples of these words in a context. Teachers should teach how different expository texts are structured with their respective keywords. Here we have some texts like comparison, contrast, description, cause and effect. All these texts now known their structures, we can find more easily the information that we need. It's important to teach strategies that involve reading comprehension. For example, predicting, infer, connect, question and answer, summarize, apply prior knowledge. Teachers should give students the opportunity to become familiar with different types of text, such as newspapers, novels, so on. It's important to assess reading comprehension through formative and summative assessments. In conclusion, adolescents and adult learners face many challenges in developing reading skills, which will help them expand their knowledge of the language. Adult learners of English as a foreign language already have cognitive skills and strategies for help them develop reading skills more easily. But for beginner level students, even though they have these skills development, they will present problems in reading because of the lack of vocabulary knowledge, lack of knowledge of relationship between words and phrases, and other linguistic elements that are involved in reading skills. Here we have the bibliography reference, and thank you, teacher.